We're here with Roy Morris after winning or after going to nationals after clinching a spot this past weekend in Jacksonville. First, I kind of want to get your first thoughts as a freshman. This is your very first year. How does it feel going nationals?
It feels really great. I just had to, it just feels great. I didn't think I was going to come this far, but I just had to keep thanking God, and I made it.
And is it sweeter? Do you think? Knowing that, I mean, you weren't supposed to go. You were seated in the 30s, but then it kind of came out of nowhere and surprised everybody.
Well, yeah, because at first I wasn't doing as good. I kept reaching for the board, and I said, "Come on, God, just come on my last jump." So my coach told me to scoot up a half a shoe. I scooted up, and I hit the board, and it surprised me. It surprised my coach. It surprised everybody out there. So.
And you mentioned your final jump. What was your thought process going into the final jump? You were at something like fifth or sixth going into in the first 24 group of 24 jumpers. I think you were like fifth or sixth. What was your thought process going into your final jump, knowing this is your last chance to possibly go to Oregon?
I had to just calm down. I couldn't get my hopes up too high. I had to just calm down, pray. I took it all in, and I said, "Come on, God, just help me on my last jump." And on my last jump, it just felt great coming down the runway and going in the sky, and I landed good.
And you mentioned after that final jump, and the first 24 went, and you still had 24 to go. How are you feeling at that point? Not only that, but there was also a pretty lengthy rain delay.
Yeah. So I kept praying on the lane delay. The rain to keep delaying it because I was worried. I said I just hope they go ahead and knock it out. And I was on my phone panicking. I was just going through it, and then I kept seeing people keep scratching. I said I was right there. I was at first, and then I kept going down. I was just getting nervous. And then my coach called me, said I was in. I got up. I ran down the hallway. I was happy. Yeah.
So did you go back to the hotel at that time during the delay, and then you just were keep following it on live stats?
I was actually in the bed, sleepy, getting ready to go to sleep. Then they start, and then I seen warming up. I said, "No, I gotta stay up for this one." So I stayed up, and I finally made it in number 9. So I'm just thankful God helped me through it. Going to Oregon.
No, what would you say has been the biggest factor in your success this season?
Just my coach, a good coach, and just helping me fix my techniques and stuff, and just getting me through the hard days and good days. So that's it.
If I were to talk to you before the outdoor season started, and were to tell you that you would be in this position going to nationals in the long jump, your response would have been what?
That's a hard question to answer. Leaving high school, I don't know. I really don't. I can't even answer that one. It's a hard decision, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of out beyond your wildest dreams to be in this position at that.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Then, do you kind of have any superstitions going into a jump?
Not really. It's like when I'm on the runway getting ready to jump, that first jump I'm always uptight on myself. Then my coach just said, "Relax and have fun," and I relax and have fun, and I do good.
And then, do you feel like you're extremely confident now? You have had two of your top 3 jumps have come in the final 2 meets. You had your previous second highest jump at conference, and now you surpassed that jump. Do you think you're about as confident as you can be going in?
Well, yeah, right now I am, but I still got a whole nother week of work, so we're gonna see where I get this time.
And then, you mentioned staying up to to see everyone kind of scratching and stuff, and finally find out that you're going. So when did it kind of hit you? Did it hit you right away, or did it kind of hit you the next morning?
It really hit me the next morning when my mom called me and said, "You really made it." I said, "Mama, I really made it." And I always listen to my papa because he always said, "Just keep following your dreams." And I kind of took that on, and I try to follow my dreams from there to now.
And then finally, what was going back to your recruitment? What do you think the biggest decision was in coming to Northwestern State?
So at first, I didn't have any offers leaving high school, but I was like one of the #1 jumpers in Louisiana. So I said I just gotta trust the process. And then soon, it was like the middle of the summer, McNeese hit me, and then NSU came and got me, and I just felt like home here. I came on my visit, and it just like hit me like this is where I need to be, and I committed.
Yeah, thank you, Roy.
You welcome.